let us bring our mind back to this body and sit with this posture that Mian has also guided us last session. Comfortably either on the chair, and most of you may be on the chair because we are looking at the computer or your device. Most important thing is the back should be straight. Then breathe naturally and keep your mind neutral. So let's take 3 rounds of breathing. First, kind of concentrate on your breathing into your right nostril, out from the left nostril. Do that 3 times. Now, you may take deep breath in through your left nostril and out to your right nostril. We will do that 3 times as well. You can close one side of the nostril and do that if you need to. Yes. Now you breathe in through both your nostrils, slowly, gently, and out both your nostrils. Now, hopefully we are now able to maintain a neutral mind and calm our mind down to this 1.5 hour session on what is very important in our life. The last 2 classes, Brother Tan and Sister Lo Mien has taught us how to take care of our body and mind through self-care and self-compassion. There are many methods they shared. Today, we are going to continue using the foundation of mindfulness, realizing the interconnectedness among us, as well as kindness, to explore what is most important in our life, that is being alive, and the unavoidable event in life, we will end with death. So let's use the next 60 minutes or so for the information I would like to share, and we discussed about this matter in the last half an hour. Let's set our motivation for learning this BGF Psychology 2 classes, that the purpose of our life is to benefit others, is to help others. So with all this skill and knowledge that we learn, we want to benefit as many people as we can beside ourselves. But first of all, is to protect our mind, to take care of ourselves, and at the same time, take care of others. As when we care for others, automatically our welfare will be well taken. So it's very important to not to wait until one is strong and well to reach out. So our motivation is to help at the same time, both ourselves and others. For those of you who are comfortable, let's put our palm together and take refuge in a triple jab. I will read. I take refuge in the Buddha until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. I will do 3 times. I take refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. I take refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. When you recite the refuge prayer, try to contemplate the qualities of the Buddha and the Dhamma and Sangha. Buddha being the doctor, the qualified guide, our teacher. Dhamma is the method, the teaching given by the Buddha to guide us to have a better life and eventually to achieve enlightenment. And the Sangha are the community of the holy beings who practice Dhamma and who accompany us on our path for spiritual cultivation. With that in mind, we then generate this great compassion, the wish to free others from suffering. I shall read this part one time. By my merit of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. We are all transmigratory beings circling in these 6 realms because samsara or cyclic existence uncontrollably because of our delusion and our negative action. So with that wish, hopefully ourselves and others, through our Dhamma practice, we will achieve enlightenment and also help others to achieve enlightenment. Yeah. Next is about the outline. Today, we will contemplate about life first, then we talk more on that, and eventually a little bit on coping with grief when someone dies, and how we can use this knowledge we understand from life and death to lead a meaningful life and help others to lead a meaningful life. So every morning when we get up, most of us are busy with daily work and family work. We just rush out and then already have planned, right? Doing this, that, as a mother, as a sister, especially you have responsibility. We seldom think that, wow, how wonderful, I get up and I'm still alive. Maybe when we are on holiday or weekend, when we get up, we don't have to rush. Sometimes we contemplate. Occasionally we think, oh, how nice we get up, still alive. Or maybe relative or friends have passed away. Then we value that, oh, I'm so happy that I get up today. Because many people go to sleep without knowing they die in the sleep. Yeah. But have you ever thought, how lucky I am to be awake and I'm still a human and not the dog in front of me, right? We always take it for granted that we will always be human. And then we complain about our human life, you know, too much of this or too little of that. Now with COVID and a lot of challenges, financial, body as well as mind, we complained. Why, and then when we complain, we actually waste a lot of time complaining and then having no peaceful mind to work. This is the sign that we have not contemplated enough of how precious a human life is. And also a sign that we have not contemplated enough death, which is natural, which will come, but we defer, no, we don't want to see, we like pantang, you know, don't want to talk about it. Last but not least, we did not actually contemplate on the suffering of this dog in front of us, or the poor, the sick, the poor, as well as other beings that we don't see in our eyes. But Buddha said there are 6 realms in our existence. Yeah. So let's start this topic, though it's on contemplation on death. I would like to start about life first. Without knowing how precious we have about this life, our death contemplation may not be so powerful. Yeah. So now, contemplation about human life, we have to know that we have 10 freedom and 8 freedoms and 10 endowments. Let us go through each of these 18 that constitute our perfect human life. Yeah. So what are the 8 freedoms and the 10 endowments or 10 richness? First of all, when we talk about 10 freedom, you may ask, free from what? Free from sickness, free from poverty, or is it free from your stress in life? No, it is free from the state where we cannot do good, cannot practice Dhamma, cannot learn Dhamma. And why, then you say, why is so important, Dhamma? No, but many of you sign up on this BGF psychology course. Is actually learning the technique that Buddha has taught for us to free from the suffering, both mental and physical suffering, and the causes of suffering. If Buddha can, with his compassion, he will free all of us from suffering. But Buddha has said that he will not, he cannot do that. We ourselves have to free us, our own self, from suffering. But if we just free ourselves from suffering and not the causes of suffering, with the root still there, the cause still there, if the suffering will continue. So Dhamma is actually a method that frees us from both suffering and the causes of suffering. So since we have these 8 freedoms that will allow us to practice this wonderful thing called Dhamma, let us go through again. What is these 8 things? So first is actually freedom from being born in a non-human state. Non-human state. We can't see, except animal, we can't see the hell being. We can, though Buddha in the scripture has mentioned the 6 realm being, the lowest is a hell being, hungry ghost being, animal, and a human in the middle. Above us are asuras and sura, the long life gods. And then the next freedom, although born as a human, but we are born in an unfavorable state for practicing Dhamma. So we are so lucky that we are not born there. We are not born where Buddha has not come, descend. In the history of Buddhism, we can study that periods where there's no Buddha. And then we are not in a place in this world, in this world that where there's no Buddha's teaching. There are countries or regions that where no Buddha's teaching. There's no chance to hear or practice Dhamma. We are also not born with imperfect organs, faculty like a dull mind, or born without ears, cannot hear the teaching, or eyes to read. There's a lot of inconvenience when our organs are imperfect. Last but not least, we are not having wrong views about Buddhism. Let's go through. So when we do not contemplate this, we think our life is perfect, just looking at human, but sometimes we do not value our perfect human life because we don't see the suffering of the other realm. Just like, some of us go traveling to other countries, let's say some developing country, then we come back and say, how wonderful, we live in Malaysia, we can eat anytime because our restaurant, our mama store open until late night. Some country, developed country, the shop closed at 5. And how nice the weather, not so cold winter, the wear clothes. So we have to go out to see other countries in order to see how fortunate we are. So let's look into this fortunate place, unfortunate place, called, let me go back, unfortunate place called hell being. Hell being, understanding how you have talked about it, they are heat and cold hell, they are extreme pain, non-stop. Never know when the suffering will stop. That's how situation in hell is there. And why we get born there? We get born there because we have a very strong anger or hatred, or we have broken the vows that we have taken, such as killing, stealing, and with strong negative emotion, we did all those wrong action. No? So then you contemplate, how lucky I'm not born in hell, I'm born as a human. Look at this hell being, the heat is the hot, is just like we are put on the hot pan, naked, our body put on the hot burning pan, and we can't get up from there, that kind of heat that we can't imagine, Next is a hungry ghost, preta. Look at this picture. Although from a Dhamma text, but in my medical books, when we talk about famine and starvation and nutrition problem, I actually saw a drawing of a famine, a child with this kind of big stomachs, very thin limbs. You may have seen in world news, you see people who have no food appear like that. Buddha scripture actually mentioned hungry ghosts. They have extreme hunger and thirst. Their body so thin that their throat so narrow, their tongue, food went in, become flames, and then they got big stomach. So they're all the time hungry and they can't find food. They walk very far, many hours of journey, but they can't get food. They're tired. Why is it so? To be born there, because we're very miserly, very kedukut, very attached to our own possession, don't want to give to others, a very strong desire on other people's possession as well. And sometimes we prevent others from doing generosity, doing good, and stealing others people or taking what is not given. These are the causes to be born in the hungry ghost realm. Then think about that. Then contemplate how lucky I'm not a hungry ghost. I'm still a human. I can eat what I want anytime I need food, and I can swallow the food and digest the food. Then next come animal. This one we can see, surrounding us. They are our pets, our dogs in the zoo or in the some documentary show. You can see animal, but animal constantly they are not intelligent. They are quite dumb and foolish. They cannot learn. You tell them not to harm others, but they have to eat others to feed themselves. So they constantly eating other, killing other, and killing is not a virtuous action by nature. Taking others people's life, and they are constantly in fear when there's Hari Raya or New Year when there are firecrackers. Our dogs will run to hide to be under table like this dog, scared, and always they are either, especially dogs, animal living in the natural world, they are always in under heat or cold or hunger and thirst, and they have to explore, to work in some country. Even now, you go to some country, they make the donkeys carry very, very heavy load. And then when the donkey is old, they just put aside and let them die without food. Why are we born? Why some people be born as animal? Even the queen's pet is still animal. Although the environment is good, the completion karma is good, but what you say, the throwing karma thrown to the animal state is always not good, because we have done some very stupid thing and be disrespectful to the Dhamma. So how wonderful I'm not a dog. Next is long life gods. Above in the sixth realm, kind of above us, there's a lot of desire, a lot of happiness. But this happiness is actually indulgent in this sense pleasure, happiness, all the time parties. There's no time to actually contemplate on Dhamma and to help others. No time to do good. All the time being happy only. So when people accumulate a lot of they do good and then they pray, they want to be born in God realms, that's how one is born there. And there's this story or this simile that my teacher told, just like a person having party, very enjoying themselves, food, drink, a lot of food and drink and music. Then the mother called, son, our house is on fire. Please come quickly, save me. Then the son looking at the beautiful food, music, people, and mother, I'm not free now. Just put down the phone. That's how God being enjoying sense of pressure and not able to help because their mind are occupied by this enjoyment. So luckily we are not born there. We are still, when people need help, we go and help. We can study Dhamma. Next is born when there's no Buddha descent. When you study Buddhism, there are period, we call it dark period, where there is no Buddha descent. No Buddha descent, no Dhamma, yeah? So why people are born there? Because they abandon. They got opportunity to learn something good, to be a good person, but they abandon that. Next is to be born in a place where there's no Dhamma teaching. Let's say I just Googled this on the Google, and I found there are places where they are Buddhist, considered who register as Buddhist. They are colored places, they have Buddhists. There are many places there are no Buddhists. So they are born in a place where there's no Dhamma teaching, no Dhamma activity, and also because no Dhamma, they don't know what are causes to be happy or not happy. Although when they talk about Dhamma, any other religion, as what our teachers texts, they're teaching people to do good. Doesn't mean that no Dhamma, that's a bad place. Yeah, and nowadays with what VGF has done, a lot of online teaching. Even though let's say we are in one of this country where there's no Dhamma, you turn on your computer, you still can study Dhamma. Yeah, but anyway, let's say a place where you can't get access to the Dhamma teaching. No teacher, no teaching, no books. That's how this is one of the lack of freedom, a place which is lack of freedom. Then number 7, then born with imperfect faculties, where the mind is dull, not intelligent, cannot think, or very stupid people, or born deaf, blind, dumb, so they cannot study. Although they wish to, or their parents wish them to study, a lot more effort is needed to teach them. Last but not least, in fact, is the most inconvenient lack of freedom is when one have wrong views, and the wrong view is so stuck, so hard in their mind that even people tell them, yeah, there's Buddha, there's Dhamma, there's Sangha. No, there's no 3 jewels, and they don't believe in the law of cause and effect. They say after this life, no more rebirth, things like that. So these are wrong views. Yeah. So how lucky we are not being born like them. So we know this thing. When we go to Sunday school, when we were young, also we were told the 6th realm and all this. But why are we still like complaining about this life, this body? Because we haven't put ourselves into the situation. We always think they're so far away, dog, animal, or hell. It is not us. So when we contemplate, must contemplate deeply to think that, oh, if I were the dog, if I were in the hell or hungry ghost state, then we feel, oh, how lucky we are not there. The next 10 good factors about human being is called 10 richnesses. These are quality we have that make us being able to study Dhamma, make us so special. The 5 is about ourselves that we have within us. We are now human. All of you, we are human. Yeah, we have this factor. We also born in a place where there's religion, yeah, that teach us to be a good person. We also born with perfect faculties. That's why we are here. We got eye, ear, quite good, can hear, can use computer. We also have never created the 5 heinous crime, meaning the 5 very serious negative action, mean kill our own father, kill our own mother, killing an arahat, a practitioner towards nirvana, causing disunity among sangha, causing sangha to quarrel, or making sangha make into 2 groups, and causing a Buddha to bleed with hatred. Yeah, Buddha is no longer with us, but let's say when we are in the situation where there's Buddha and we cause Buddha to bleed, and having no faith in the Dhamma, that is most serious. Yeah, no faith in the Dhamma. Next is about richnesses depending on other. One is we are born in the place where Buddha has come. We also born in the place where Buddha teaches. It seems that there are times when Buddhas come. Sometimes Buddhas does not teach. Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, after attaining enlightenment in Bodhgaya under the Bodhi tree, 49 days, Buddha didn't teach. Yeah, so we have to have a good condition for Buddhas to teach. Being born in a place when the complete teaching are still here, we can read, all the scriptures, Kaya, all this of it. It's fine. And now with computer, everything is online. You can Google, can get all the sutra. Being born when the complete teaching are being followed, people study, people learn, people teach others. Yeah. And last but not least, having the necessary condition to practice Dhamma. People support practitioner. We support the Sangha. We give dana. So these are the signs that we have these factors. Yeah. So how lucky we are to have all these 10 and 15, 10, 8 and 8 freedom and 10 richnesses. So then, what is the benefit of this human rebirth with this 18 condition? Certainly, with this 18 condition, we can fulfill all our goals. We want money, we can get money. We want wealth, we want good reputation, we want good family. Because when we learn how to do good, according to the law and cause and effect, whatever virtuous action returns is happiness. And not only that we can have all the good condition in life, we can actually reach our highest potential, which is reaching enlightenment. We can, because we have this human body. So the more we think about how wonderful to have this human body, the more happy we will have, right? Like the last 2 speakers, Brother Tan and Brother Mian said, sometimes we are a bit down, depressed, we need to care for ourselves, we need to have compassion, kindness to ourselves. This is one of the factors. Sit down and say, luckily I'm not the bird, had to, in the raining day, had to wet and no place to stay, or whatever you can, or from the TV documentary, you see, in the ocean, big fish eat the small fish, one big mouth come off, fish being eaten. When you watch this documentary, you can learn a lot. Actually, when you watch movie also, you can learn a lot of life, meaning of life. So we should be very happy to have human and not the other lack of freedom and lack of richness. So we say goodbye to our depression. This is self-care. This is self-compassion. Then we will have a very meaningful life. Yeah. And one more thing, we must always remember, to be born human is not easy. Yeah? Our past life, whoever he is or she is, have done a lot of homework, hard work. They have to keep pure morality, avoiding all the 10 non-virtues. Yeah. 3 of body, 4 of speech, and 3 of the mind. Not to kill, not to steal, not to have sexual misconduct, not to lie, not to have harsh speech, not have division speech and gossiping, and not have ill will, wrong will, and covetousness. They have done that purely. And also they practice a lot of generosity, giving food, giving money, generosity of Dhamma, generosity of protection. And last but not least, they also make strong prayer, stainless prayer to the Buddha, to Buddha, that I want to be born as human to continue to practice. So we must thank our past me, the person before us, before being born, that he has done that. Now we have this human body. So another important factor to contemplate is that this life, this human body does not last long. You see, COVID, so many people has passed on. Sometimes friends who have no illness died. No. Besides, we call it degenerative time. Our Dhamma is degenerate. The environment, the ethics of are degenerated. So there's some urgency for us to use this body. No time for depression. No time for anxiety. Yeah, because such short life we have, don't spend on those meaningless things. Be strong. Be happy first that you have this 18 factor. Now we must use every single moment of this life to do good. When you don't harm others, including animals, yeah, we will be happy. You just try. If you torture others or the maid or you make others unhappy, you are not happy either. When you help others, this is the best medicine for anxiety and depression. Having good heart. Please cherish others. Don't always put ourselves first. Let others go first. And then at the same time, use this life to learn Dhamma. If we say, oh, I do not quite know the knowledge or what Buddha's teaching, Buddha has a lot of teaching, Tripitaka, go and study. This is one of the main priority after we hear that. Interestingly, I mean, with COVID in a way, blessing in disguise, we have the opportunity to study Dhamma from so many good teachers all over the world, just by a click of the computer. So we do have the karma because of some unfortunate things that happen. We all able to learn more conveniently at home. But at the same time, I think coming together physically to interact also will give us that good mental health. Human being is a social animal. We need to interact rather than in this little box and when I don't see faces also, yeah. Okay, next is, even though I know so important this human life, but sometimes we just, like this man, no, just sit down there, not wanting to do anything or no mood. So let's talk about that because we didn't contemplate on that. That's why we sometimes just going to, like people say, go to a place where there's a lot of diamond, but come out without any diamond. So this is the sign that we have not thought about the transitory life we have. Yeah, let's contemplate on that. It's not negative things. It's not a pessimistic thing. That is real, is coming, undeniable. Why are we don't want to talk about it? That's number one. Number two, by talking about that, it's not making you more sad. I will help in the hospice service. People say, "Oh, you work every day, see people dying." But actually, I must thank this opportunity. I have much positive life, happier life because we are caring for people who are dying. There's so much lesson we can learn from them. Yep. Okay, so Buddha has said our life is transient like water bubble, the river bubbles very fast, no more bubble. Lightning, a dew in the morning dew, is many other simile that Buddha has said. Our life is so transient and also impermanent, change momentarily, yeah. So contemplation on that our life is, because life ends with death. So Buddha has said that of all the ploughing in the autumn is supreme. All the footprints, elephant's footprint is supreme. All perception, remembering death and impermanence is supreme. Yeah, this is from the Great Nibbana Sutra. So Buddha asks us, if you contemplate death and impermanence every day, you will value your life, you'll live a more meaningful life. And this should be our daily homework, like our daily cup of coffee. If we do not contemplate death and impermanence, even for one day, we are missing something. So take Buddha's advice. So why is it so? If we do not contemplate that, then we will not remember to practice Dhamma because our life is so busy. From the time we get up, Sometimes we are so multitasking. So multitasking actually sounds to be like very efficient, but it's actually not very good for mindfulness practice. If we make it a habit, no one do this, our mind actually cannot concentrate at the same time. All things is actually concentrate one thing at a time. So we are all distracted. Here I put a women. I think women more busy because children to take care, the householding, and then many of women today work. So because we do not practice, we do not contemplate that, we do not practice Dhamma. Number two is sometimes we do not contemplate that. We think we are not going to die. We still have many, many years to come. We say, not today, I'm too busy. Not especially now with handphone, WhatsApp, a lot of messages, and go to website, internet, Facebook. Then we got lost. We got important thing to do, but we postpone our Dhamma practice because we thought we are going to live long, long time. Next is, even though sometimes we practice, but we do not practice it purely. We are so distracted, sitting down, meditate. In a few minutes already the mind is on to what to do tomorrow, or what someone told me just now, or what want to do, or plan for holiday, things like that. Distracted with mundane thing. This is if we do not practice this contemplation on that, we think we are going to have a lot of time to practice. This is how it will happen. And we also, if we do practice, but we practice occasionally when teachers come or there's retreat, we go attend, we practice for a while, come back, no, not consistently and not continuously. We do not put Dhamma practice as one of the daily activities like eating food, yeah, and that is no good. For anything, we have to have continuous practice, especially Dhamma practice and mindfulness practice. And then when we do not contemplate that, then we will do a lot of negative action. Negative action doesn't mean just like very gross, like hitting people, scolding people. Negative, non-virtuous action can be the one what we call eight worldly Dhamma, or eight wind, no, being turned around by the eight wind, meaning you seek for gain, you don't want loss. You seek for pleasure and pleasant, don't want unpleasant thing. You seek for fame, good reputation, and you are not happy when you don't have good reputation. You seek for that, and you seek for praises. You don't want criticism. So these eight winds are actually non-virtuous because of the thought that, oh, I will not die. I will. This was so important to me. I must work very hard. That was like me. Then give me promotion. Then I become supervisor, and then people say I'm good. I'm hardworking. I'm smart. We look for this kind of mundane achievement. Virtues are things that bring us happiness. Non-virtuous are things that bring us unhappiness. This is the law. This is the law of cause and effect. This is why we call karma is certain. Is that so non-virtuous coverage is bigger than what we often think. Has to be like gross negative action. Next is, if you do not contemplate that, then we'll die in regret because there are so many things we have not done. We have not studied enough Dhamma to pave our for future life. So that's why I say we thank our previous life. We have worked so hard, keep the 10 virtues and avoid abandon 10 non-virtues and do a lot of Dhamma study. And now we have not done. Our future life will go to a not so fortunate place. So we regret. Or we haven't done enough for our loved ones. Or we have done a lot of negative action, causing harm for many people. Then because of that, we are fearful of the negative action, negative result that will come, because you understand law of cause or effect doesn't happen only for Buddhists. It is a natural law. Yeah. So these are the 6 disadvantages if we do not contemplate on that. Now, if you contemplate on that, then we will not be born in lower realm because we will be conscious about our action and we will do good. So that by doing good, abide by the morality, we will be born human again and continue to practice. Number 2 is we will actually have more energy or power because we know we are going to die, no time to waste, so we gather all our inspiration and strength to abandon negative mind, to have positive thought. Yeah. So these are actually fearful of that is coming. It's a positive fear that it will, but we will make an effort, stronger effort to abandon negative thoughts in the mind, like what Mian said. Sometimes it's just our thought making us unhappy. Yeah. Also, having this contemplation on that is important in the beginning. Before we start doing good or Dhamma practice, if we think of that, then we will say, better start now, better sign up for the retreat that BGF is going to organize, because life is short. I must learn how to do proper mindfulness practice. Yeah. And then in the middle, let's say we go for retreat, then we practice. If we do not contemplate on that, sometimes laziness come, or later or never mind or I sit for these short hours only, tired. We have a lot of excuses for not continue to practice. But the moment the mind think, oh, I may die tomorrow, then you continue diligently in your Dhamma practice. At the end, when you practice, at the end, if we contemplate on that, at the time of that, then we continue to put effort, because this is not the only life. So until fruition, until result come, we contemplate on that. They will give us a push to continue to practice. So it's important in beginning, in the middle, in the end of our Dhamma practice, in our life as well. Start early to think about that. In the middle, when you are active in your career, think about that as well. And they're old, more so must think about that, because it's even nearer. But that doesn't mean so. Yeah, young people can die before old people. Last but not least, if we make contemplation on that regular practice, then we'll die happily, because we've done what we need to done. So, and also no regret. So that's what we always, when we care for people who are dying in our hospice service, when we have family meeting with the patient, we always tell them that people sometimes regret at the time of that, because they have not done what they want to do, what we call unfinished business. They have not say thank you to those they have gratitude to. They have not say sorry to those who they have done wrong. You know, they have not expressed their love. Yeah, so so we have these four important, we call it four reminders to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. So if one have this death contemplation regularly, they will express this four to their loved ones, even to their enemies. Yeah. And no one is forever an enemy. Enemy can be our good friend. Good friend can be our enemy. Thinking like that, then everybody is the same. Or suffering in this samsara. Yeah. So when you see there's so much advantages and so much by contemplating that, and so heavy the disadvantages of not contemplating that, let's go on to think how to do contemplation on that. This is called 9-point meditation on that. It's based on 3 root truths, and then 3 reasons for each of that, and then 3 conclusions. Yeah, so it's not difficult once you it's quite a logical and common sense. So many of us know about this actually. Yeah, that is certain. No one forever live. Yeah, the time of death is uncertain, especially with COVID. You see that. Yeah, at the time of death, nothing will have except Dhamma. That one we have to emphasize. Yeah, so that is not a terrifying thing. By understanding this, that is an important thing, and is something that we need to often think about. Let's start with first truth, is that is certain. And there are 3 reasons for this statement. Yeah, Buddha said, everyone has to die. No one escaped death, from the richest man to the poorest man, from the baby to the oldest person, from everyone die. Yeah, that I think no need to explain. You can see. Yeah. Then the second reason is that our lifespan is continually decreasing. It's true that like the train going to the station, the train moving non-stop. Sure, you will reach the destination. They say that Buddha said that the moment that your consciousness entered the sperm and the egg in the conception, the very next moment aging start and the death start, death process start. Just the science also say that, you know, degeneration start the moment is being alive. So we cannot add more years into our life. Yeah. Last is there's little time to practice Dhamma. That's very true. I want to show you this. Why I say what Buddha has emphasized, that why that is certain, that the 3 reasons is that we almost like no time to practice Dhamma. Look at this. We as human, we need sleep. Only holy being or spiritual practitioner serial, they do not need sleep, but we need sleep, we need rest. Much time spent there already. Some people sleep short, 6 hours, some long, like 8 hours or 12 hours. Number 2, especially in the middle age group, we work for a living, we spend a lot of time working for our bosses, working for our own career, no? sometimes because of the working from home, due to COVID MCO, we work longer hours when we are working from home. Weekend also, we carry our computer, our phone, we work continuously nowadays. Then we have to rest, we have to eat, we have to prepare food, we have to go for holiday, leisure, exercise, gym, yoga. All this takes time, yeah. We do occasionally sit down and think, okay, I must practice, at least study Dhamma book or reflect on Dhamma teaching and then meditate. But in between, we get lazy. Lazy means we procrastinate. Maybe tomorrow, today, a little bit tired. Or weekend, so many people come to my house, no practice. Or we get very distracted with many other things. We get sleepy. Then sometimes we have low self-esteem. We say, oh, we are not good enough. I cannot practice. I haven't learned enough. I haven't gone to temples for a long time. Also don't know what to practice. It's true. You do not study Dhamma. You do not know what to practice. But that doesn't mean that you can't practice. Yeah. Take out any book. Now with internet, computer, you can learn. You can go to YouTube. There are great teaching there. So, but we have these excuses. So even we practice very little time. They said that householders, those who are not monks or nuns, we have a lot of responsibility non-stop until we die. It's like the men have to shave every day. They have to shave, otherwise the mustache will come. You know. So whereas Sangha, they have let's say I have a retreat, 3 months retreat, then complete or achieve something. There's an end in something. Nirvana will be the destination. But lay people, whole life, you know, you will until like even old people, if their grandchild has not got married, they worry. So non-stop mundane activity, thoughts disturb them. Okay, so because that is certain, the conclusion number one is we must practice Dhamma, because we will die and we are going to die, walking towards that, and we have no time, so we must make time to practice Dhamma. The second, the truth is about that is uncertain. That we also know, we see. Let's say we are born, because of karma, we are born to have some certain lifespan. But many things happen to cause us not live up to our lifespan. Yeah, we do not know when we will die, how long we will live. And we can die at any moment. And sometimes strong negative action we have done in this life cause the death the next moment or soon. And there are many causes for death. We see that I think coronavirus taught us a lot of Dhamma. Even small virus like coronavirus kill so many people. Negative emotion, anger. You can take a knife and want to kill people and you got killed. So sad, no negative emotion. Then some people commit suicide. Or the four elements, air, fire, water, earth, in our body in balance, they fight with each other. We've got sickness. Some sickness is so serious, no cure. Or we get into accident. Or even things that sustain our life, like food, vitamins, we take too much, it can cause illness and we can die from it. No? Indigested food cause intestinal obstruction. So there are very little cause for us to live, but many more causes for us to die. Last reason is our body is so fragile. Again, coronavirus, we can't even see with our eye. So small, it can cause death. Yeah. Anything, actually we are very fragile. Sometimes human beings are more fragile. I always look at animals when they are born, they can walk and eat, the cows and birds very fast, they can fly. We can't. We have to be with our father, mother for many months. Then only we learn to walk, we learn to talk. We are very slow learner, human beings. But luckily we got the intelligence to study Dhamma. So precious human. Although we start slow, but we catch up and we study more than the other animals. So this red thing is exit point. Yeah, we can exit anytime, even before being born, inside mother's womb. Can die in the womb. This is the latest coronavirus. I say I learned so much. Till date, we have about 550 million people have been COVID and 6 million people who have died. Look at this. That is uncertain. Many of them are young, baby, children, youth, those without sickness, those with sickness. They never think that they will die from coronavirus. Yeah, and we have friends, relatives who have died from coronavirus. That is uncertain. And when we die, when our lifespan finished, because of the past life causes, and we have created causes, so we have certain lifespan. When we use up the lifespan, we say absorb good death, we absorb a lifespan, then we die. Or we use up all the good merit, Then then suddenly in the place where there's no food during coronavirus lockdown, even you got money, you can't buy food. Then no food, then you hunger, then maybe die, or no merit to get medicine, or too late to get the vaccine. No merit to get the vaccine, so then die from coronavirus. So what I say is, you use up your merit already, then you don't continue to create, to accumulate more merit. Also, merit is actually, we call it potential, positive potential. Yeah, it's not like bank money keep in the bank. No, it's, you have to create certain environment, a certain potential for us to get positive thing. Last but not least, if we do not, if fail to avoid danger, this is what Buddha said when we die. When we do not avoid danger, like eating too much, under eating, things like that. So we die. And we do not know when we will die. So what we should do? We must practice right now, at this moment, June 28th. We cannot delay. We don't waste any time. Don't quarrel. Don't have negative mind or quarrel with others, or all these are meaningless affairs in the life. So practice now. Last root truth. At the time of death, nothing can help except Dhamma. Your friends, relatives cannot help you. Cannot go with you also. Your possession that you take care so much, you work so hard to earn this money, the house, the car, cannot go with you. You can't use them when you die. You cannot use it for your next life. Your body that you spend so much money eating, and then also like medical checkup, medicine, cannot. That body died, cannot follow the mind to the next life. So this cannot help you, except a positive state of mind that you study from Dhamma education. No, Dhamma is teach you the method, and that will ensure you to have good rebirth. So the conclusion is, we must practice pure Dhamma, meaning correct Dhamma. Learn from a good, reliable teacher. Don't follow, understand certain thing wrongly and practice wrongly. Life is so precious. Yeah. So we have to make contemplating on death as our priority. Then our life become meaningful and simple, and we have a happier life. So when we realize that impermanence, so we have to think that it's actually miracle, miracle to be born like that, to be born, to be awake with the body, human, and not died last night. Yeah, everybody get, luckily I didn't die last night. I'm still alive. And we then to realize this preciousness of this human body with the 18 condition, and we are not hell, we are not animal, we are not God realms, we are having this environment to study Dhamma, then don't waste time. No. Last but not least, it's very important to reflect this again and again and again. Make it as a daily reflection about fortunate birth and the 9-point death meditation, so that we will value this precious human rebirth. Whatever negative things come, whatever challenges come, whatever thing people talk about you, criticize you, look down at you, whatever adverse condition, doesn't matter already. I got human, I got the best wealth, best possession, most lucky person. I got a human body and a positive mind. Yeah. And then when you contemplate that, then we will maximize what we have now. Don't waste. This is potential is so great. Yeah. And once we contemplate the law of cause and effect, the karma, then we do good. We do virtuous action. Then when that comes, we die without regret and without fear even, because we've done our job, we prepare our good action, good merit. Then we will certainly go for good rebirth and then continue to study Dhamma until enlightenment. Yeah. So, and like many spiritual practitioners, they die with joy because they're going to a better place, you know.